For those of you that's started following me in my YouTube channel, I want to say thank you. For the new ones, I like to welcome you. So we are now on the episode of Bad Things Happen to Me while doing my business. So when we started, if you remember, I was reading a book that to achieve your financial freedom, you need to be in business. And looking around with the nurses I was working with, they're all comfortable in life, but there's no freedom. And that was my goal, to achieve time freedom. And so I started a business. It's called Texas Seamen's Connection, and that's about uh, taking care of the sailors. Where I was before, I was living in Port Arthur, Texas, and there's a port of Port Arthur there, and about 15 minutes from that place, another refinery or another port, and basically it's they call it Golden Triangle, and in that area there's about 4 or 5 ports. So we were surrounded with refineries. So anyway, so another bad thing that happened. So I was distributing phone cards to the ship that just came, and unfortunately the sailors inside, or the ship came from Vietnam. And when they arrived, everybody were so excited that they find out that there is one that's going to the ship and selling phone cards to them. Unfortunately, they don't speak English very well. And so what I have to do, they bought all my phone cards, but I had to stay with them. And it's 40, 45 sailors inside. And the previous shift, I had to teach them one by one in the payphone, dialing for the phone cards. So fortunately that day I was off when this ship came, so I had to help them. By the time I finished, maybe from 1 p.m. to about 6 p.m., and all the mosquito bites is just all over my face and in my arms. And it was really, really bad because it's all kind of like I have dust all over all over my face. But I made some money that day. So the following day, when I came to work in ICU where I was working at, they were asking me, "Hey, what happened to your face?" And I said, I just lied that I was doing my gardening, and it was already dark and I was still doing the gardening. So the mosquitoes had bitten all over me, my face and in my arms. And it was really, really very hard because they don't speak English. So I have to do all the dialing from the payphone. And also, once I get connected, then I have to give to another person. Sometimes it's only one payphone, so they have to wait from one person to another until the business or the phone cards is finished. So it took me a long time to help that ship. So that's another bad thing that happened. Another one, because I wanna tell you, I'm telling you these bad things because I want to let you know that doing a business is not easy. It's hard, but you don't have to quit. You need to do what you have to do to achieve whatever dreams you want to have. So another one was I was also doing how you call that, the Filipino channel. I was reading one day in the Filipino magazine, and they were saying that eventually the ABS-CBN will be going to Texas and to start the Filipino channel. When I find out, so I requested off for that day, and from Port Arthur I went to Houston, and I met this Mr. Lopez, and I told them that I'm very willing to start the Filipino channel, and they told me that to do that we have to have an installer, and I want to save money. So what I did, I was the one that went for training to install the Filipino channel at the top of the roof of the house. Before the Filipino channel, it was still very very big, huge. It's huge, like really huge satellite. And so one day I was doing that, and I was the one at the roof, and I have another helper. So he was the one telling me how to position it. So I was positioning, and I keep moving, and all of a sudden, boom! I fell from the rooftop. Can you imagine that? I'm glad it wasn't too bad. So that's another thing. But anyway, I survived the Texas Siemens connection business until the uh, the 911 happened. That was about 2001, and Texas Siemens connection business of mine was a very good business. I was doing phone cards. I was selling phone cards, buying stuff for them like computers and many many other things. So I was making really good money from that business. Unfortunately, 911 happened, so they don't allow us now after that to go to the refineries. They became very very strict, and we have to buy, I believe it was $3 million worth of liability insurance just to get into the ship. And when you go to the ship, it's also very limited. They keep an eye on you, what you are doing, because they were so afraid that something can happen in their refineries. So I ended up closing that business. But I learned many, many things in that business. I added, so when the sailors arrive, they always want like t-shirts that have made in USA. So I was doing the printing for that and making designs for them, so that when they go to the Philippines, they go back home, they can present that someone loves you from Texas with love, things like that. So I was doing printing t-shirts, and then I was also doing money transfer. Before there was no forex here, then also there were balikbayan boxes, so I made money from that. I was the one, you know, picking up those balikbayan boxes in their huge boxes, and I will go to the Amtrak and deliver it that time to California. So money transfer, balikbayan boxes, groceries, computers, and many other stuff I have to buy from the mall to give to the sailors. And every time they gave me also a good tip for buying the stuff for them to be put in the balikbayan box. So it was a pretty good business. In fact, I was able to put in a good, I call it Texas Siemens Center. And every time they arrive, they stay there, and then they just walk to Walmart and buy the things they like. So the Texas Siemens connection really was my very first business, adding the grocery also to the nurses from the van, and basically the very first one was selling groceries from the back of my van, but it's no business yet, just extra thing, not registered at all. So the very first one is Texas Siemens connection, and I love that business. So the next time we'll do our YouTube, I'll tell you how I was able to go to the senior care business industry. So that's all for now, and I love you all. Till next time.